everybody, welcome to my latest video. This one sees me hide from the elements. It's been gloomy and raining off and on for the past week, so that means the pergola is still wrapped up in a tarp, and it means that I've had to go inside, hide from the elements, and I've started work on the shower project once again. So this project is something I probably stopped working on about 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, and that's because, to be honest with you, I was intimidated by the shower head that I bought. It's enormous and I wasn't sure how to attach it, and I just had lots of questions about what I was going to do next. So I just dove into the project and I feel like I've made some really good progress. Plus I head down to Sinead's place to help her with the project as well, and we made good progress on that too. So I think it's a really fun video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again at the end. It's a pretty miserable day outside. I've had to abandon the pergola work because the weather is just not cooperating. It's drizzling a little bit, but it's actually really cold to the point where I can see my breath. That is not cool. It's really cold. I don't think it's been this cold all winter, at least. I haven't noticed if it has. Definitely not in the day. And yeah, it's really foggy and gloomy and pretty miserable out here. So I think the wise thing to do for today is to head back inside and work on my shower walls and the bathroom walls using lime and clay. These little dudes definitely have the right idea. Hello, sir. Hello, other sir. I know. So they're chilling out, enjoying the toasty warm fire. And yeah, it's definitely a day for staying inside. So I have my paddle mixer to whip up some of this clay. This has been sitting in this, lime. This has been sitting in this bucket for a while. And you can see, even though I haven't added any water into it, it still stays soft and usable. And that's one of the big advantages of using lime putty, is that it doesn't really dry out quickly. And if I were to cover with this with a layer of water, it would basically stay indefinitely, even though I've already got the sand mixed in there. So I've got a bit of prep to do with the lime. I've got to tidy up the bathroom area, clean out the shower, get rid of all the obstacles in my way, line the shower floor with some towels or some plastic or something, and then get to work. But first, one more pet for the cats, and then I'll get to work. So the cats are still here, looking all snuggly and adorable. They've been getting along really well lately, cozying up to each other, being mostly friendly, sharing the same space, holding hands. And I've been just working in this bathroom area, trying to clear stuff out to make space. I've put some towel defense down. I've got the lime ready. Got my water here. And I want to basically make this the final pass of the base coat of lime. So that's with the coarse sand. And in doing that, I want to make the final shape of the shower. So down here, you'll see it sort of comes out over top of the tiles on this side, but not so much over here. So I want to bring this down so it rounds over the tiles so that the water wants to shed off. And then just basically build things up so that when I do the next layer, it'll all be a little smoother and less crazy looking. But before I get started with the lime, I've got something to do on these smooth pieces of wall. And that something is to scuff the wall up a little bit so the lime has a better chance of sticking to the previous layer. As you can see, this has been scored with the trowel while it was wet, but for some reason there's parts that I didn't do that with, so I'm just going to go around with the angle grinder and dig into it a little bit here and there so that the lime will stick better. So that might be total overkill, and grinding inside is never fun because it's dusty, but I just feel like it'll give it a better chance to stick. And now I've got a little bit of prep to do. I've already taped the top of the shelf here on the underside to protect it from the lime whenever I get up to the top. And I'm also gonna remove the window. Hello, little snail. Goodbye, little snail. Maybe I'll keep that open, actually. So I added this window a while ago, and the intention was always to remove it because I want to build up this part here a little bit more. And so what I've done is I've put wood in behind it, so it allowed me to take it in and out easily. So I don't really have a plan yet for how I want to do this design, but removing the window is a first step, and eventually when I get up to this part, hopefully I'll have made a decision. So I've got a little more prep to do. These pipes went in ages ago, and I guess the idea with the metal pipes is that this piece here sort of cinches onto the other piece, and when you tighten it enough, it kind of like squashes this thing inside and connects everything together. I don't exactly know what I'm doing here, so I'm not attaching anything just yet. But what I do want to do is make sure that everything's at the right height, and I'm going to do that by putting the tap on just to hold everything in the right location. But I did want to say that maybe you can see there's a plastic pipe in there, and that allows me to pull this in and out, which just gave me some flexibility with the thickness of the wall, because to be honest with you, this is all extremely intimidating. I don't really know what I'm doing, but my idea was to use the tap to find the right location of everything. So when I was doing this originally, I had the tap screwed on there, and now I'm going to do it again and try to get everything in the right location, because this one here has a little bit of wiggle room, and that one's in there pretty securely. So here's my tap, and initially I was like, oh no, I don't have the right attachments, because obviously that can't go onto that. But then I discovered these things here. But with plumbing, often plumbing more than anything else, it seems like there's always some piece missing, so I sort of just assumed I didn't have the right attachment, but here it is. It comes in the box, and it's sort of tilted like this so that you can adjust the spacing possibly to fit a variety of different taps. I think the spacing is correct, but I'm a little bit more worried about the uppy-downiness of that one there, so we'll get it on, get the tap on, and then push it all into place, and then hopefully that shows me the heights of things, if that makes sense. Not sure it makes sense to me, but hopefully when I get this on, everything will be revealed. Come on. So you can see that's not really level there. And I just took out a rock, and I guess that's why that was in there, to hold everything kind of more level. Because once I put the lime in, it's going to be how it's going to be. These will obviously get tightened up. You know, I actually don't really know what I'm doing. All of this seems like it's tilting forward, which isn't great. Especially since my shower head is ridiculous. This ludicrous thing is my shower head. It's kind of insanely huge. I guess this is what happens when you order something online. And it did say 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, but I had a hard time visualizing that. Maybe it's going to be awesome. It does seem kind of like overkill. But I won't know, I guess, until I attach everything together. The problem is that I don't see a way of attaching this thing onto the wall. So I don't know what to do with that, because this bad boy is really quite heavy. But you know what? I'm going to worry about this part later on. As long as I can get the tap in the right location and the lime around that, I'll be happy. But I just wanted to point out that this is the final shower head. It might end up being amazing, or it might end up being ridiculous. I don't know yet, but something to worry about down the line, I think. But yeah, plumbing is definitely a new realm for me. I haven't done any indoor plumbing at all. I'm tempted to get someone to do it for me, but the least I can do is get the shower ready and worry about all of this other stuff another time. So let me get the tap in place, and then we're going to start to lime. So I've got my lime and my tools ready to go, but before I start the work, I thought I would show you this weirdness, because I felt like I should probably try to at least figure out the shower before I moved forward. And the good news is that I've managed, with the help of this stick system, to push everything up enough so that it's level, mostly level that way, and it's level this way. And I've also managed to attach the shower head, so it actually does seem sort of sturdy, like maybe it doesn't need wall support, which is good news. But the bad news is I can't figure out how to make this thing go higher. So there's two little bolts here that work with this Allen key, and I've taken them off and I can't really pull it up. So I think that needs some investigation, because I can't imagine that this thing wouldn't be adjustable. It looks like it should be, but I just can't seem to work it out. And then in good news, this little tiny Allen key also works for this little bit here, and then that's what's allowed me to tighten everything up so that the shower head stands upright mostly. So yeah, that's the system, I suppose. And I'm gonna disassemble everything, keep the stick in, keep the tap in, and try to stick some lime back in there, probably with some stones, so I can make sure that the taps are in place and that nothing sags downward when I remove the stick. So this is all new to me, but I do like to share when I'm problem solving, just in case other people encounter similar things, and also just to show the process along the way. So the shower head is mystifying me so far. The plumbing is a future problem to solve. But one thing I definitely know how to do is how to stick lime into a hole. So let's get on with that. So I'll be the first to admit that filming in the shower is kind of difficult, but I'll do my best. So I think the lime will only be so strong, and I think putting some stones in there just to wedge everything in place is what I need to do. Because the shower head, as I mentioned, is kind of heavy. So this is all very tricky. I can't really see what's going on in here. I feel like I've got stones in there already, and I don't want to lime the actual metal pieces in. I only want to lime the plastic pipe in. So I should probably take these little circly things off, but I kind of want to know the depth of the wall. And everything's already all wedged in and level, and that took quite a lot of time, so I don't want to undo that. So I guess I'll just try to work around things and try my best. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning up of these taps after I finish here. But this is really the only way I can see this working, so I can make sure everything is and stays in the right spot. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't want to move this stick because I want this to harden first a little bit more before I start messing around with things. And now my goal is just to build up mostly this wall for the rest of the day, because I have to build out quite a bit. As you can see, there's a big distance between where this thing is going to end up roughly and the wall. And so I've got a lot of lime to get on there, so let's get going. So this is the last of my lime, and I've been working away. I just took a break, so things have dried a little bit. I scored the work that I did before, and I'll probably just finish this batch because I don't really feel like mixing any more in the rain. So I'll just continue up the wall as far as I can go and make a batch tomorrow. So in good news, Sinead came out for lunch, and I had a closer look at the shower head. I actually found the instructions. I have no idea where those materialized from, but I'm glad they did, because it showed me that I wasn't missing any pieces. I don't know, I guess I just couldn't figure out how to get the thing apart. So Sinead came up, and believe it or not, brute force and ignorance really is a fine method, because basically we just held an end each and pulled really hard and got the shower apart. So I was able to extend the top part to go taller, and then in doing so, that also revealed the piece of the shower pipe that sticks into the wall. So problems have been solved. I'm not exactly sure just yet how I'm gonna fasten the piece into the wall. But I feel like at least I kind of know it's possible. So anyway, that's been done, and now I'm just gonna get to it and use up the rest of this lime and hopefully put a nice push on the work. I really do enjoy liming with lime putty. It just sticks to the wall so nicely, and I think it looks amazing as well. And this little guy here is a Japanese trowel. It's way more bendy, and it's really good for getting into some hard to reach places and doing work that's a little bit more intricate. So I could probably tinker with this wall for hours, but I don't think you really are supposed to overwork lime, so I'm just gonna have to walk away. I've got some tidying up to do. I've got the lime everywhere, all over the taps, all over the floor. And yeah, just let it dry a bit and then I'll score it and get back to it tomorrow. But one thing I definitely want to do today so I can do a bit of pondering is line up the shower head thing now that I've figured out how to extend it, and try to think about how I'm going to attach it to the wall. Okay folks, this is where I'm at with the shower head. I took that crazy huge thing off because it's extremely unruly and difficult to maneuver around, and I figured out, basically Sinead and I pulled this thing apart with brute force, and in doing so it uncovered this little screwy bit here, so I put that in, and then this part goes in here. So basically what I have to decide is how and where to attach this thing into the wall. It's not going to be easy. I possibly should have embedded some wood into the wall already, so it'd be easy to screw into. So I'd probably end up just putting some concrete screw plug things in there and sticking it on that way. But yeah, I'll have to determine the height. So I thought I'd bring it out just so that while I take a break from the work, I can do my favorite thing and just ponder some stuff. So it looks like the distance is good, and if I can get it in somewhere around here, possibly a little bit lower, yeah, that might do the trick. So that's all from me from today. As you can see, I've got a bunch of cleaning up to do. And before I go though, I wanted to show you that I've got my windowsill acting as a little greenhouse. So I've planted some tomatoes and peppers and stuff in there, and I'm going to be monitoring the situation. And out here, the sun is trying to poke through, the rain has stopped, so I might actually mix up another batch of lime in preparation for tomorrow, and I definitely have to head down to the forest to get more pine needles because I'm all out. So today has been busy but very fun. I do love switching between projects, and though the pergola is very enjoyable, it has been one thing pretty solidly for a while, so it's nice to have this little break. Even though the weather has turned and I should possibly get back to working on this, I think I'll stick with the shower and hopefully get back to the pergola in a few days and get it up. So I'm gonna get out and enjoy what's turned into a lovely day, mix some lime up, collect some pine needles, and you'll see me again from the shower tomorrow. So the sun is peeking out even though it's been rainy all morning, and I didn't get a chance to mix up some lime yesterday because I went to the forest to scrounge around for pine needles and fig branches for my fire, and that took a little longer than expected. So I'm gonna mix up some lime right now. So I've got the lime, but as suspected, it's way too soupy to use right now. So I'm gonna just decant some of it to this tray where it'll have a better chance of drying out a bit more quickly. And hopefully I'll be able to use what's in the tray later today, or maybe tomorrow. It might take a while. I'll put the fire on, and hopefully that aids with the drying out. I don't know if this is going to be enough to finish the entire shower. I think it will be because the wall I'm working on right now is the one that needs building at the most. And that took about this amount, and I feel like the other walls don't really need as much. So while I wait for that to, I don't know, harden up and get usable, luckily I have another task. And that job involves the tool of joy on a stick. And it's something that Sinead and I have been meaning to do for a very long time. I don't want to get into the pergola work just now because I feel like we only have a short window without rain. So instead of that, I'm going to take this bad boy down to Sinead's place, and we're going to give a massive, unruly fig tree a trim. So Sinead's already been going for it with the chainsaw. We've got a lot of stuff to chop up. We use the fig branches for our kindling to get the fires going. And it's great stuff. This will be for next year. How's it going?
It is a job of joy.
Yeah, a job of joy with the tool of joy.
Yeah, she's lovely.
It's really fun to prune fig branches because, I don't know, they're kind of soft.
They're very soft.
It's just very satisfying.
Yeah, it is.
And this tree, with all of this stuff taken off.
The tree has ever been pruned.
Yeah, it hasn't been pruned since I've been here.
No.
And even with those branches taken off just now, it looks so much different already. Yeah, do you have a strategy?
Yeah, anything that's going down,
Yeah.
taking it out.
Anything crossing over?
Taking it out.
And anything dead, but it looks pretty healthy.
Yeah, it's a healthy tree. It's just the downwardness.
The downwardness is what the problem is.
Yeah.
So
There's actually a lot of trees regrowth underneath.
So a fig tree, I think, wants to be a bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of shoots from the bottom. I just bonked my head on this thing. Be gone. So we're just gonna get at it. And after we prune it, or while we're pruning it, we'll chop the pieces into about that length and use them for future fire.
Well,
So, are we ready?
let's go.
Born ready. Got the chainsaw.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's roll.
Bye.
Who needs a tool of joy on a stick when you have tree climbing abilities?
Let's see now. Let's see what's going on up here.
How does it look from up there? A lot less chaotic than before?
Well, I can tell you, I wouldn't have been able to do this time last year. Ooh. Wellies, they're perfect for climbing trees.
What do you think?
She looks like a tree, man. She looks like a tree, not that big bush that she was before. She's looking great.
She's lovely.
She really is.
And it didn't take very long.
No.
And now we have loads of
When you got one of
kindling.
these babies.
Tool of joy to the rescue. Yet again.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess we're just going to continue chopping up the wood into tiny sticks and reap the rewards of these figs. When they come, they're beautiful purple figs. They're lovely. And yeah, this was a very enjoyable job, I gotta say. So this is the destination for our fig branches, which is going to be next year's kindling. It's about halfway between my place and Sinead's yurt over there. So they're in a good spot for both of us to access them quickly and easily. And ideally, they wouldn't be stored in an unruly pile. They would be in some kind of a wood storage structure. But we don't have that, so for now, I'll just stick them there and get a tarp over them. And then we'll bust them out again around October when they will have had time to season, and use them for kindling for next winter. She has a few more trees down there as well, so this pile will grow quite a bit, and it should be plenty of wood there for both of us for the whole winter season. This part of my land is really quite neglected. I still have a whole bunch of wood from last year that was too big for my wood burner, so I'll chop that up and try to use it this year before the weather gets warm. As you can see, there's loads of trimming to do, and there's definitely a lot of pruning to do. This almond tree is out of control. But I'm looking forward to getting out in the land next time I get, a break in the rain. But the rain started to come down again, and so I'm gonna hide inside But it's been nice to be out here. This grass is crazy long. And working on something that we've been meaning to do for a very long time. So it's incredibly satisfying work doing pruning. The olive trees, as you can see, also need a lot of work. But for now, I'm gonna say goodbye from today, and I'll see you again tomorrow from the shower. Good morning from a brand new day. Some pondering has happened, and I think what I'm gonna do is try to embed a small piece of wood into the lime rather than actually screwing things in. I think if I use some metal nails in the wood, and if I can grind this space to be deep enough, it should work. Good morning, Larry. What do you think? He thinks he has dirty feet. He's busy at the moment. So I have everything laid out here because I was expecting to have to work inside, but we've got a break in the rain. What do you think? I know. And it looks like I'll be able to sneak out here for a little while and prepare that piece of wood outside. But before I get to that, I've got to grind out some of this wall to see if this idea is actually even gonna work. So I've removed the shower head and I've drawn a rectangle up there, and I'm just gonna chop into this thing and see what happens. Well, that was dusty, that's for sure. I definitely have lots to clean up. I've probably underestimated the dustiness of that. Hopefully this is fine. I'll probably take the taps off maybe a little later today and give them a clean. So I could grind into the stone deeper, but I actually have to build this wall out quite a bit more. So I think this might be okay. So the weather's holding, even though it's very gloomy out. And I think this bit of wood will actually be the best for the job, so I've marked it up. And I'm just gonna get chopping. Okay, here we have it. It's weird, it's wonderful, and I hope it works. So here's my idea. It's a little unconventional, but I think it's gonna be much easier than trying to get the shower head thing screwed in with concrete plugs, especially since the stone part is gonna be so far away from the shower head part. So the idea is this gets embedded completely into the shower, covered with lime, and then whenever I'm ready to attach the shower head piece on, it's gonna have some wood to hit into when I get screwing. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get the lime and get this guy in. So the lime is maybe a little bit sloppier than I would like it, but I think it'll be fine. for getting that piece of wood in, and then I'm gonna let the rest of it dry a little bit more, and then come back to the rest of the shower walls on another day. So I've actually put a few nails in the back because I think I want this thing to stick out just a bit more than going all the way in there. So I'll put some lime in first, build it up a little bit, and then get the weird wooden porcupine thing in place. And I don't really know what the best tool for the job is for this, but let's start with this guy and see how it goes. No, I don't like that one. Maybe you. That's a bit better. And it's probably a good idea to make sure this thing is plum-ish. It looks good, and it looks like it's about at the right level to meet where the shower attachment will be as well. So that's, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so the mix is quite soupy. I might leave this for a little bit longer. So I think what I'll do now is just score it and come back to it later, because I want to have a shower today, and I think it's fine because this part that I've already done is mostly dry. This part obviously won't get hit by any water that I have splashing around, but what I definitely need to do is clean the taps and take the stick out, because I need to also get rid of the towels and clean the floor. So let's try to remove this stick, and hopefully this all stays where it is right now. Hopefully I haven't completely destroyed these taps. I'll give it a big old rinse once I get it off. And so this is a pretty big moment of truth, because if I take the stick out and this thing moves forward, it's gonna make this part not plumb, and that could cause me havoc later on. So fingers and toes are crossed. I'm gonna try to be a little gentle with this. Hopefully it comes out. There we go. And there's a bit of movement there. It's kind of annoying. I was hoping it would stay put. And hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so that's actually not great. I think I do need to find a way to prop this back up, maybe with some stones, because it's quite a bit out of level now. So that's disappointing. It's not so bad that way, but it's not great this way, and that's what I'm worried about. But that's a problem to solve another day off camera. I think what I'll end up doing is tidying everything up, having a shower, and then sticking the stick back in there. But we'll see. So this has been a fun video. I really have enjoyed switching focus to the shower project again, and it's nice that I've pushed things forward, and I'm really excited that I've figured out the shower head, that the taps are mostly in the right place, and all of that is going well. So yeah, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I foresee more shower stuff in the next video, And then it looks like we've got a bit of a break in the weather next week, so I'll be back at the pergola. So thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.